first heard about Bitcoin in 2010 when a news story hit about a guy buying two pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. I was next really reminded of it in late 2016 when a friend in California called and told me that he and some business partners were doing a thing called Bitcoin mining, and they were actually earning Bitcoin. He invited me to join them, and soon after I did. So that's how I got involved with Bitcoin. And the more I've learned about it, the better I've understood that everything about it is built around encrypted and immutable math. Now, since it's built on mathematical proofs, I like to think of Bitcoin as a platform of trust because it's not really money, but it can be accounted just like money when it's used on a computer or an electronic device. It's not a company, not a product, not a service, or something that you sign up for. It's the concept of being able to use a platform of trust in the digital world that can be transmitted into value in the physical world. Now, that's the power that makes the concept of Bitcoin relatable to money. Now, let's think about money. Well, we know that money is one of the oldest technologies that humanity has devised. We know that it predates writing because some of the earliest samples of writing we have is of tallies, ledgers, and pictures of debts owed. And it seems that writing was created just to explain who owned what. Now, one of the first forms of expressing this who owns what, ownership value, was barter exchange. In barter, we would exchange something we own with something someone else owned. Then, civilizations created rare money tools like clay tablets, seashells, beads, stones, and even salt was used to communicate value. But by as recently as 1,000 years ago, most civilizations around the world had adopted precious metals like copper, silver, and gold to transmit value. 500 years ago, most of the known world was using a paper money tool that was usually backed by these precious metals. And then, of course, 100 years ago, new forms of money like credit, debit, and payment cards emerged. And then finally, 50 years ago, the U.S. removed our U.S. paper money from gold, decoupled it, creating USD, fiat money, which is what we use today. Most other countries followed suit by pegging their fiat to the dollar. But in the last 20 years, trust in fiat money as a value proposition has faded due to legalized manipulation, structural flaws, and mismanagement that have grown all the more apparent in a world where everyone has access to massive amounts of data. So as we move into this new century, we're moving into a digital age, an age where people and groups are spread around the world in networks that communicate instantaneously, to the point that these advancements in technology has created the necessity and the space for a trusted digital money. And in the last 10, 12 years, Bitcoin has proven to be the golden standard for a digital money and transmitting value. For the first time in history, anyone, anywhere on the planet, was empowered to transfer value to anyone else, anywhere on the planet, without the aid and assistance of another human being.